Hi, this is H of the Stage, and today we're going to listen to the most unique voice on this planet, and that's the voice of Diana Ankudinova. If you haven't listened to Diana Ankudinova by now, stick around for this video, and trust me, by the end of this video, your mind will be completely blown. And that's a promise. We're going to listen to her cover of Chris Isac's Wicked Game. Everybody knows that song, but let's see what kind of twists Diana puts into the song. But first, I'm a singing coach, and I teach singing every day through Skype, Zoom, what's video call, or whatever works for you. If that's something you're interested in, check out my website, singeverything.com, consider booking a lesson, and if you book more lessons up front, there are some discounts. So check out my FAQ section of the page for more information about that. Also, if you would like to book a custom reaction, if there is a singer or a song that you would really like to see me analyze on this channel, or if you want me to give you feedback on your singing through a personalized video, check out my Wizio page for those kind of things. Also, if you use the code H10 at the checkout, you get 10% off of your purchase. So hurry up and book your Wizio because that's a limited time offer. Okay, without further ado, let's go straight to the video. Very nice acoustic guitar sound. Nice, a little bit different than the original.
The world was on fire, no one could save me but you.
Whoa, so deep.
It's strange what desire will make foolish people.
Told you she had a unique voice. I've never listened to anything like her voice.
Never dreamed that I need somebody like you.
And I like those breaks in her voice. How she goes from very throaty you know, she has that close kind of vowel sound. The reason she sounds like this, there are a couple of reasons. First of all, is the places where her voice resonates. And I think that place changes very quickly. Usually the singers are kind of trained to pick a couple of resonators for different kinds of part of their range. For example, usually we use the part of our mask. Sometimes we use a little bit of more chest to your vocal and a little bit more down to your throat, which is not always advisable, but it depends on the song, you know? Or you go completely into the head voice, which is what you would hear in a soprano opera singer, you know. But Diana uses a mixture of every kind of resonating place you have. And what does that mean? The sound resonates in your bones, in the flesh, in your throat, in your nose, in your mask, in your head, wherever you place it. And what I believe she does is she switches very quickly from those resonators, giving her this kind of almost kind of a distorted kind of sound. That's one thing. The other thing, if you were to record her vocal, I believe you would have a very interesting waveform. I would advise you to check a video of Andrew Huang talking about the harmonic series of music. It's kind of hard to explain in a few seconds, but I'll do my best. Every note that we hear has a lot of very quiet notes that follow it that we don't hear with our ears, but when they're recorded, you can see it in the waveform. For example, when you play a note, let's say an A3, A5, whatever. You have a lot of those waveforms. If a note was completely straight, like a frequency straight note, it would sound like this. Okay, for example, let's pick a note, let's say A4, which is usually the note that orchestras are being tuned to and stuff like that. That's kind of a middle ground to start from. So if you have a straight tone, just a 440 hertz, which give it this straight A tone, it would sound something like this, you know? And if we were to record that in a DAW, digital audio workspace, you would just have one waveform that goes like this. And depending on the volume, it might be higher, it might be lower. But what happens with human voice, with acoustic instruments, with anything, you have that one waveform, but you have a lot of smaller waveforms that go after it and that give it this unique sound. Those little waves are the things that give everything their unique color. For example, if I were to sing an A4, and if you were to sing an A4, or if we were to play an A4 on a piano or a guitar, they would all sound different. You know, you could recognize the difference between a guitar, between a human voice, and that's what makes everything beautiful. Everything is unique. But Diana, I believe, has a lot of those small waves coming after the original note. And that's what gives it this rich color of her voice. This is something that I haven't heard in any other singer that I've analyzed. Everybody has those harmonic series, of course, but I don't think anybody has as much as Diana does. That's just my way of thinking. I would really like to be in a studio with her and just to pick apart these waveforms to see what's actually going on. But I'm pretty sure it has a lot to do with the harmonic series. Again, if you want to know more about that, check out Andrew Huang's video about that because he explains it very well. such a creepy, beautiful voice. When I'm listening to her, I have this feeling like she's a vampire princess. You hear this deep vocal. But it's amazing how her voice doesn't go with her persona. She just looks so young, and then you hear this voice. Damn it, this is powerful. And I like how she approached the song in a kind of ethno feel. Amazing. Listen, if you really focus on her vocal, it's almost like you hear 3 vocals at the same time. I was talking about this in my other Diana reaction. It just feels like you have 3 or more vocal tracks stacked into one. That's how thick her voice is. It's so dark, thick, but powerful. When she's singing falsetto, it almost doesn't sound like a falsetto because it sounds so rich. Falsettos tend to sound like they lack in energy. And the reason we call them falsettos is because that's the show for false voice. It's not a real voice. It's not your modal kind of voice. It's just not your voice in its complete power. It's not your modal voice. It's not your chesty voice. It's not your mixed voice even. It's just kind of a false voice kind of sound that you can use for some interesting things. But her falsetto sounds like somebody's natural voice. That's how powerful it is. But Diana just has this nice look when she's performing, and again, I kind of find it silly to look at her and to listen to her voice. When I was listening to her for the first time, I would never guess that she looked like this, but that's what makes it so beautiful. She just has this voice, 1 in 7 billion. Nobody in the world has this kind of sound. I've never heard anything like it. Feel free to correct me in the comments if you have anybody that sounds at least a bit similar to her. I would like to check it out, because this is something just completely crazy. Look at this. This sounds so epic, dark and powerful. Bringing it back. This is like something you will never hear again. I wish I was there. I wish I was listening to this in person, because I could only imagine how this feels being in the same room with her. Just imagine if her voice is this much vibrant when you're listening to a recording of it. Just imagine how much good it sounds live. I could just imagine the walls shaking from so much bass in her voice, and the treble, you know, it just has all the right frequencies to hit you in the right places. Diana's voice is just out of this world. It's crazy. It's crazy how good it is. Okay, picture this scenario. You're walking down the road, it's the middle of the night, and you have these beautiful mountains that surround you. The moon is full. You just have this mystic kind of atmosphere here. And let's be fair, you're a little bit frightened because it's very dark outside, you're not sure where you're going, and then suddenly, from the mountaintop, you see this girl, a goddess, with this dark voice, singing this. And just imagine seeing this in that kind of scenario. I think I would poop my pants. As much as it's beautiful, I think I would, you know, die from horror. You know, I'm kind of fooling around. I really enjoy her voice, but at the same time, it's just so unique and kind of crazy dark. It can give me chills and it can give me goosebumps in a good way, and I wouldn't mind either of that. I really enjoy the way she sounds. I really hope she gets more and more famous, because I really think she deserves it. That's all for today. If you enjoyed this video, like it, share it with your friends, and consider subscribing and hit that bell to get notified about my next videos. If you're interested in singing, check out my website, singeverything.com. Consider booking a lesson and I can teach you a thing or two. If you enjoy what I do on this channel, if you enjoy these kind of reactions, if you would like me to continue doing them, if you would like me to do more reactions to Diana Ankudinova, consider supporting the channel a little bit by buying me a coffee through my PayPal link in the description. Think about it. Coffees aren't that expensive and every little thing adds up in the end and it helps me in the long term. So thank you if you decide to do that. Also, if you would like me to give you feedback for your singing, send me an audio or a video clip over at Vizio. Book a Vizio and use the code H10 at the checkout to get 10% off of your purchase. Or if you want me to do a custom reaction to some singer on this channel that you really admire, that you want to know a little bit more how they sing, how they perform, book a Vizio for a custom reaction and also use the same coupon code at the checkout to get 10% off. And what can I say? I enjoy having you here, you look wonderful, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!